if you are an ambitious person or you have big goals, you know this feeling all too well, right? The feeling that it seems like you're running out of time, that there might not be enough to go around by the time you even get there, or maybe you are like already too late, right? There are entire industries created off of this feeling, off of manipulating this feeling into people, right? And that's why like everybody tries to cut the time down on when you should be able to achieve certain things, right? Lose 10 pounds in 3 days, right? Hit six figures in 6 days, right? Or become a millionaire in 6 months, right? There's a reason why this speaks to human psychology so strongly, is because we all have that feeling in us where like we feel like we need to cut the time down a little bit to hit, whatever goals that we have, right? Or we need this extra thing, this extra supplement, this extra course, this extra whatever it is that'll get us to the next level faster than what it normally might take, right? And I was thinking about this recently because I had to think about like, what am I driven by? I have goals, right? But I think for a long time, I was driven by this anxiety that I was going to be too late for something. I was driven by this anxiety. I was driven by like just made up dates, made up deadlines, right? I need to hit this before I turn 30. I need to hit this before I turn 25, right? And all I did was burn me out. All I did was kept me stressed. All it did was made me hate the process of actually getting said goal, or actually achieving said goal. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to talk about a few things that I think will help you slow down a bit, and it'll help you actually achieve your goals because you're going to slow down a bit, and you're going to see where you were rushing. You're going to see where you were faltering off because you were, rushing. Okay. So, first, here's the truth about meaningful goals: they take time, no matter what. I saw somebody recently explain this in the most simplest term, right? They said, like, she was like, yo, when you see, a high school graduate, you understand that they had to go from freshman year to sophomore year to junior year to senior year, and you understand that every year had its own sets of obstacles, tests, literally tests, and obstacles that they had to overcome to get to this final point. So when you have a goal, right, whether it be business, whether it be health, whether it be financial, like whatever, you have a goal, right? Why is it that we still want to just kind of cut that time down and get it as fast as possible? The best goals, the ones that really like drive you, the ones that really move you, the ones that really wake you up every morning, those take time. That is the truth. And the time is going to pass whether you want it, or whether you want to or you don't. It's going to pass. When you have a big goal, you're not just achieving something, right? You are becoming somebody. You're becoming somebody who can obtain it, actually, right? Because that's what you're doing. If you would be able to have it already, you would have it already, right? If I was the person to make $1 million in a year, I'd probably already done it, right? But I haven't, so I have to become that person. Okay, if you had a goal to run a marathon, you would probably have run it already, right? But you can't because you're not in the proper shape, right? So you have to become somebody. You are becoming somebody else. So that takes time. You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to write a book. You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to have a six pack, right? You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to run a 7-figure business, because there are steps that need to be taken. And, the steps are different for everybody, but they are steps that need to be taken where you qualify and disqualify yourself. That's like the really beautiful thing about life is everybody goes through these tests, and the ones, and I can already hear somebody in the comments, or I can already hear somebody thinking, well, what about the people who, get over, or the people who scam? Those don't last. They never last, right? How many times they get a quick burst and then they flame out? So you don't want to do that. You want to build something that lasts. You want to become somebody who lasts, who stands the test of time. So that is the real truth when it comes to having a meaningful goal. You don't just get the goal, you become the person who's able to get it, handle it, and keep it, right? That's why a lot of people who, they might get surgery to lose a bunch of weight, but they put it right back on because they did not become the person who was able to handle it. Lottery winners, right? They win a bunch of money and then they go broke in a few years because they're not the person who is there to who they're not the person was able to keep it and handle it in the right way. Okay. So when you are, going after something huge, right? When you're going after a major goal, when you're trying to change something about yourself, you have to understand that takes time because you are becoming somebody new in that process. Really quick, if you want a really grounded way to learn how to build your dream business, all you have to do is grab my part-time business playbook down below. Okay, it is built for people with jobs, with families who don't have the time to spend all day, trying to build this thing, but they have a few extra hours a week that they can dedicate to learning something new and to put it towards building the big goal that they have. All right. All you have to do is click the link below. It's completely free. All right. Let's get back to it. So the second thing that you have to ask yourself is what's driving you, right? To want to achieve this goal. Okay. Um, at the top of this video, I talked about being driven by my anxiety because there was this lingering feeling like I'm learning these new skills. Is it going to be too late, to actually capitalize and monetize on these new skills by the time I'm ready for it, right? Am I too late? Did I miss the boat? Damn, these people, they making money right now. Should I just rush and put something out in the marketplace that's not ready, right? That's not in alignment with who I am yet. And that was a real fear. That was a real fear that I really struggle with. So you have to understand that there is a big difference between being pulled by purpose and pushed by fear. Okay. You don't want to be pushed by fear because you make some really, really bad decisions. You make some really decisions. You make some bad decisions that are not in alignment with who you are and who you even want to be. The first part of this was talking about the person that you have to become to achieve this amazing goal that you have. Okay. When you are rushed, when you are rushing, when you are, when you have this feeling that, you're going to be too late or there's not enough time, then you're being pulled by some invisible force or pushed by some invisible force, and then you're going to make some really bad mistakes, and you don't want to do that. All right. So you have to ask yourself, am I building this because I want this or because I'll be too late by the time I get it? Right. Think about that. It's a really powerful realization that you'll come to because there are entire industries who profit off of that fear alone, right? Think about all of the ads that you see. And when you think about an ad, it is about literally the best ads are about getting you what you want in the shortest amount of time as possible. And depending on what you want, that will speak to you directly. And then you're going to go, oh, snap. I want to get this. Oh snap! I want to use this pill. Oh snap! I want to buy this course. Oh snap! I want to invest in this crypto. Oh snap! I want to do this thing because it's telling you what your goal is and how you can get it in the short amount of time as possible. And sometimes that's not what you need. Sometimes you need to set the foundation, like I mentioned before, become the person who can actually achieve that thing. Okay. People when farmers grow fruit and grow vegetables, they plant the seeds first, they water it, and months go by, seasons go by before it's the fruit is ready. Okay. People, when women are pregnant, they get pregnant, they wait 9 months before that baby is ready, sometimes 10, but they wait 9 months before that baby is ready to come out. The baby doesn't just come out and go ready. And in that time, what are you doing? You're getting the house ready. You're buying supplies. You are changing your schedule around because some, work schedules might have to change. You are preparing the baby that you already have to know, like, hey, something is about to change here. The energy in this house is about to change. That's why women nest. You know what I mean? You get together. You get the nursery and stuff ready, because you are becoming parents. You are becoming new people. Okay. So that's how you should kind of think about it. Don't rush. You do not want to rush. All right. Think about what is driving you. And the third thing that I want you to think about, and I want you to seriously think about this, okay? Whatever goal that you have, whatever mission that you're trying to complete, add a year to it. Seriously, add 1 year to it. Now, I understand the rhetoric that is pushed online, go all in, burn the boats, be completely obsessed, get it as bad as you want to breathe. And I understand it. And sometimes I do agree with it. Okay. But that doesn't mean you have to burn out in 6 months, when it can take literally 18 months to get that goal, right? I've had so many different goals, and habits that I wanted to start, and for the first 2 weeks I come out hot, right? But then, because I'm so kind of obsessed of hitting this arbitrary goal that I made up in my head, 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is, that I burn out, and then I fall off for another month. And then it takes me another month to kind of get back to it and things like that. And a lot of people do it to themselves as well. That's why every year on New Year's Day, for New Year's resolutions, everybody comes out really, really hot, because they said, I'm going to make this year better than last, and I'm going to do it in the shortest amount of time possible. And they burn out, and then they never hit their goals, right? Every time you see an amazing body transformation, like the before and afters and things like that, it's never 30 days, it's never 60 days, it's never 90 days. Sometimes it is a full year, sometimes it is a full 2 years, and you'll see the best results, right? I've seen people who do the entire montage, and 30 days, I'm like, okay, I see a little something, maybe not really, I probably tricking myself. 60 days, maybe a little bit. But then they'll go 6 months. I see. I'm starting to see a difference. A year. Okay. A year and a half. Oh, snap. 2 years. They look like a completely different person, right? So whatever goal that you had, whether it was, making a certain dollar amount, whether it was losing a certain amount of weight, whether it was writing a book, whether it was starting your podcast or getting your podcast to a certain amount of listeners, getting your YouTube channel to a certain amount of listeners, add a year to it. I'm telling you, I did it to myself, and it was so freeing. Like, I wanted to get this YouTube channel to a certain subscriber amount. And again, I'm not gonna lie to you, like 8 months, I was like, by month 8, I should be at this. Then I said, yo, I'm gonna give myself a year. And then even in that, I'll probably add another year to it, because why not? Who's over my shoulder telling me when and where I need to have these goals? You get what I'm saying? I am going to I owe it to myself to be consistent. I owe it to myself to to try to be better every day. And I owe it to myself to not rush, because the major goals that you have, they need somebody who can handle it. They need you to be the person who can handle it, and they need you to set that foundation. All right. So, and I don't want this to discourage anybody, because yes, you'll be building slower, but you'll be building stronger. You'll be building a way stronger foundation that will, anytime an obstacle comes in your way, because they will, right? You'll be more mentally equipped to handle it. You'll be more physically equipped to handle it, right? Anytime something unforeseen comes up, because they will. Anytime a setback comes up, because they will, you'll be that person who can shoulder that, because you've built a strong foundation. And then these habits that were tough, that were really, really hard out the gate, they become second nature to you. And then a new goal comes along, and then you'll again have to change again, and it never ends. But the main point that I want to press onto this video is to enjoy the process, build slow but build strong, and don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Because that is a surefire formula of never achieving the goal. When you're hard on yourself and you rush, you're gonna make some bad decisions, and you're gonna burn out. Okay. All right. So if you feel behind, you're not. you're building right now, and that takes time, it takes patience, but that takes consistency, right? So continue to build steady, build strong. And by the time you actually do get there, you'll be mentally equipped to actually deserve it, to keep it, to handle it. All right. And I'll be with you every step of the way. All right. So, with that being said, please subscribe if you like this content. Let me know what your goal is and how long you've given yourself to actually achieve it. Comment down below. I'm really interested to see that. All right. And I will see you on the next one. All right. Peace.